Hey everyone, J-Rob Plays here, and today's video is going to be on the second encounter of the Salvation's Edge raid called Dissipation. The Herald of Finality is the boss, so people may know it as the Herald of Finality encounter. This is actually one with a boss. Most of the encounters have been just mechanic encounters, and that's really the real boss, is trying to get the mechanics down and get people on the same page. But in this case, you do have a setup where you have a mechanics phase and then a boss phase, mechanics phase and a boss phase until he dies. Speaking of that, I do want to go over just a quick overview of how the fight's supposed to work, so that way everybody generally understands what the goal is. Then we're going to go into some of the differences in the fight, how it's supposed to be done, and then a great LFG strategy that makes it much easier for LFGs, and really how most teams are probably going to get it done just because of the ease of use of the strategy and the way that it makes things a lot less stressful on the teams on all the sides. And then damage strategy, basically our damage strategy. Everybody's going to have a little bit of different damage strategy. A lot of people are going to use swords, which is what we did. Some people can use ranged weapons and have one person hold them in place and try to hit headshots. You still want to try to use Golden Gun if you're running Goldie. So that way you can get a nice little chunk in when you're in there. They did that on contest mode to make sure they had enough damage, and so that's still viable in non-contest mode. Now this encounter setup is going to be 2, 2, and 2, meaning 2 players, 3 teams of 2 that are going to be separated based on the sides looking at the boss. So if you're looking at the boss, you're middle. If you're looking at the boss, you're right. And if you're looking at the boss, you're left. Those are going to be the areas in which you have to perform the mechanics in order to get the boss's shields down so that you can damage the boss. To begin the fight, you're going to shoot the blight in the center, and then you're going to start killing ads on either side of your area, so that way you can clear up the room, and the boss will shortly after that call 3 people to the center. Those 3 people go to the center, perform the mechanics there, and then come back to finish their mechanics in their areas, setting up a situation in which you have residents that you can then take to the very back of the room, where you look at the boss. It's the very back where you see hands coming out of the ground, because a box will spawn there that you're going to deposit your residents, and you have to do that before the final shape blooming countdown ends. Even if you have like 1 second left and you get the deposit in, it'll extend your time, and the more resonance that you have, the more time you have extended, so that way you can not only damage the boss to his fullest extent. He does have his own set damage window, but it gives you the more time. And also, when you come back out of the boss phase, if you have to do multiple phases, you're going to have more time to do the mechanics on each of the areas, each of the plates, and then come back and do it again. So it's kind of a rinse repeat. While you're in the center, you're going to have to work with the boss to try to get a stolen favor buff. That stolen favor buff is going to allow you to see the resonance that you're going to be encountering in, and I'll go over that when we get into more detail. And then, of course, once you do all of that, you come back, everybody's going to converge on the boss. After the deposit, you do your damage, and then you go back to mechanics. So that's the rough overview, is to do that again and again while everybody stays alive, and enough time to get your boss's health down. He does have a final stand as well. Once you get into the final stand, he'll give you like, I think, 30, 40 more seconds to kill him, and that's essentially a rough overview of the fight. Once you do that properly, again, 3 times roughly is what most people are going to be averaging, you'll win the fight. So everything's kind of been in 3s this raid so far, including the first encounter, which if you've just come from my first encounter video to learn the plate mechanics, you'll see that that's a 3-phase encounter as well. Now, the new change in this encounter from the first encounter is, in the first encounter there was only triangle resonances, but in this encounter there's going to be circle resonances, or spheres. And that circle resonance is there to give you variance and to make you do the mechanic, which is called stolen favor, that the boss gives you when you perform the boss mechanic in the first phase correctly. Doing so will allow you to get a buff that can see in the center of your pillar what actual shape is in the center that you need to close that pillar. That pillar itself will either have a triangle shape or a circle shape in the center, and it works the same as in the first encounter. When the resonance is on the way from the other plate to the main plate next to the pillar, you shoot with the correct resonance in your inventory, and then you step on the plate to close the pillar. The pillar will glow gold when you've done it right, and that's how you know you've done your pillar correctly. Just a quick refresh on the plate mechanics that we're working with. When you step on a plate that's active, in this case in all the rooms it's going to be the upper highest plate. They're all going to be up elevated from the lower plate. That's going to be the starting plates. You step on the starting plate, the second plate will begin to glow. Don't step on it right away. You want to wait until you see the resonance reach the plate. There's going to be like a little trace of gold that goes into the center of the plate, and the plate will then begin to glow with a pool in the center of it, and that pool will begin to close. When you step on it, at that point, the plate will then send that resonance back to the original plate. That's how you know you've done a correct ping pong or pass back and forth. And it's important to know how to do that, of course, because if not, you can't progress the encounter. Some other new changes with this encounter is that in each of the rooms that you're going to be set up in the middle, left, and right, there's going to be 3 bosses preventing you from using the plates. They're not subjugators like in the first encounter. They're actually going to be different based on where you're setting. So in the middle, there's going to be a Taken Flanks, a large one, and it's a gold bar. On the left side, it's going to be a Taken Wizard, and on the right side, it's going to be a Taken Ogre. And so basically in your team, what you're going to do when you start out the fight is you're going to kill ads on both sides. And then once you've cleared ads on both sides, one of the sides of your room will actually have a spawn of another group of enemies with a taken enemy of your type, whether it be the flanks, the ogre, or the wizard. Now from here, this is where the strategies diverge. How it's supposed to be done, and I'll go over that first for teams that are trying to do it the original way versus the way that is kind of a crutch or kind of a safer way for teams, or just a more passive, calm way to do it, basically a way that kind of does it a roundabout where you're doing extra steps, but those extra steps make it much more easier for teams that are not used to being coordinated. So again, this is an LFG guide, so that's the strat that I would recommend going with, and I was working with LFGs for the most part with a group of people that I did know, but we were filling with LFGs, so it was the strat we used to make sure everybody was on the same page. Essentially, the way you're supposed to do it is you're supposed to kill your flanks, get called to valor, kill your taken enemy, the big one, whether it be the flanks, the wizard, or the ogre, have the person who get called into the arena go into the arena, and then from there, the person who I think it's called Call to Reckoning buff will go in there and shoot the head of the boss. Doing so is going to start a blight phase. Now, the blights are going to spawn in the middle, left, and right, but it's not always going to have a blight. Usually it starts out with 2 blights. It'll either be, for example, 1 blight in the middle or 1 blight on the left, or 1 blight in the middle, 1 blight in the center. Or it could be a left blight and a center blight, meaning where you started. And so you want to make sure you kill those blights quickly. If you can react quickly and kill the first 2 blights and everybody's in the arena when they're supposed to be, the boss's head, who has a little blight over it, once you shoot the head to begin the blight phase, will pop. And so again, when you shoot the boss, a little blight pops up. That's how you know you're in blight phase. Blight goes away, and then you shoot the boss's head one more time. His head will open up with little resonance shards, and then all of a sudden that Call to Reckoning buff will convert to a Stolen Favor buff, and that Stolen Favor buff, again, is the buff that you need to read which particular resonance that you need on the plate. So when you're running back, then your call is going to be, let's say I have circle, so I'm going to tell my teammate, hey, I have circle. That way, if you're trying to simplify it, I can grab all of the circle resonances that we spawn. He can grab all of the triangle resonances that we spawn. Now, you don't have to do it this way if you want to be advanced about it. For example, if I'm the circle, I can still grab 2 triangles, and if I finish off with a 3rd circle, which again you want to try to get to 3 for timing, as long as the last resonance that I grab is circle, the resonance that I have will convert to circle, and it doesn't matter at that point what he has because he's just dunking the resonance. I'm the one that has to make sure that I have a final circle resonance, but my teammate has to make sure that he leaves me 1 circle resonance in the end. So you don't have to just pick up all circles, but for simplicity's sake, that's what we did. We said, I see a circle, I'm going to grab circles, and the other teammate's going to say, okay, I'm going to grab all triangles to confirm, and we're going to do just that. And the way that they spawn is also very unique. The circles are going to spawn in one general location, and the triangles are going to spawn in another. In the middle section, you'll see that the triangles spawn in the middle and then moving up to the right, and the circles spawn into the middle left, moving up to the left stairs on the middle platform, and that's looking away from the boss. And so that's what we did. We picked the sides, we ran up the sides, and once you've generated the amount that you need, which should be 3 apiece, then you're going to close the platform by sending the resonance back down and then locking in the resonance by shooting the pillar as the resonance is coming to the pillar, because again, your plate has to be active and the resonance has to be on the way for you to shoot that pillar when you have the correct resonance. And then from there, step on the pillar with the correct timing, and the pillar will lock and turn gold. Everybody has to do that on their sides. Then you get into the middle, go deposit into the back, and then from there it's damage phase. Now, the difficulties and the downfalls with the original strategy of doing this right. Number 1, the bosses have done the damage. You're going to have Taken Knights spawning all around the arena. And then you're going to have ads spawning during the whole time when you're trying to deal with the blights and you're trying to deal with the mechanics. And then when you come back from the boss arena, whenever you do your pinging, every time you ping back and forth, from the top to the bottom, you're going to get a set of ads spawn. And these attendants do a ton of damage. On contest mode, I may have some of the footage in there. You can see that they can quickly wipe you if you're not ready. I was having to run a Fellwinter Helm build in contest mode because my Lightning Surge would kill all the little attendants, and then from there it would debuff and kind of stun the larger knight and flanks on my side. And then of course I was also doing more damage because they were weakened and then suppressed, so it was important to do that on contest mode because otherwise you would die really quickly from the attendants and everything shooting at you all at the same time. And so even in non-contest mode, having the ads sit there and pelt you while you're trying to live and then get to the pillar with correct timing can be very difficult on teams. And if you even lose one person for the wrong amount of time, that's going to wipe you on your encounter. So now here's the LFG strategy, or the strategy for teams who just want to take it easy and want to make sure that they're consistently getting to damage, because that's the goal, is to consistently get to damage to beat this encounter. There's no shame in doing things in a roundabout way that makes it easier for your team and being more organized. Similar to the fourth encounter, when everybody gathers the correct shapes before they split them, that's actually a workaround to make sure everybody's on the same page. This is also a workaround to make sure everybody's on the same page. So how we do the strategy then is, instead of going into the arena when you get called to reckoning, what you're going to do first is you're going to clear your sides, and then you're going to do your plates. And so what's going to happen is you're going to ping 3 times to make sure you have all the amount of resonance you need. So you're going to send from the top, send down, that's 1. Send from the top, send down, that's 2. Send from the top, send down, that's 3. And I'm going to play that here so you can see what that looks like. Isn't it?
Sending.
Back.
1.
Okay. Thing.
2.
Back.
Send it back.
Okay.
Alright, last one.
Is sent. I recall we have to kill Ogre.
Done.
Send it back.
You should let it fizzle because I think the Ogre will spawn faster if you do.
Thing.
Alright, go ahead, Jeremy.
We are good.
And then once you've actually done that correctly, now you have all your resonances. So then you're going to come back down, and then everybody's going to get across from each other wherever their ad spawns, meaning wherever the wizard spawns, wherever the ogre spawns, and then wherever the taken flank spawn for us, for example, and we're going to just wreck that ad. Now, the reason why we do that is because anytime you let a plate fizzle, you're going to have another of those larger gold enemies, the major enemies, spawning, and that boss enemy that spawns locks your plate out, so you're going to need to kill them anyways before you actually come back in and do the plate closing mechanic. So the way that we do that is, again, is we kill the first one, ping, 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 kill the second one, and then on the way in, everybody kills their middle knight, because there's going to be a knight in the center of the arena near where you go down to do the boss mechanic. So kill that knight so that he doesn't kill people while they're trying to do the boss mechanic, because the boss is putting out damage as well with his solar weapon and with his blights. So any little extra damage can kill somebody, and that can also end a run if you get somebody dead, and then it's too much time, and then you're going to have to send somebody over to read for them. Because it's not like an end of the world thing if somebody dies in the middle and loses the stolen favor. You just have to have somebody come over and read for them so that the person who's going to be closing the pillar over there grabs the right resonance. So it's not the end of the world. It's just one additional wrinkle, and you having to save that makes a difference in timing in the end, so that you may not make it to the box. So now that we've gotten to that point in the encounter where we've pinged, now we're going to do the blight section. So everybody, once they have the resonances, is going to go in. We're going to shoot the boss in the head, start the blight phase, kill the blights quickly, try to kill him within 2 blights, and then shoot his head again, and then get back to your plate. And so now we've got a situation where we've got all our resonances, and no ads are spawning in yet until we start to come back to our plates. Once you get the stolen favor, you get one more spawn of ads. It's just going to be the attendants and one knight, and then from there, you're going to grab resonance based on the call out. So on the way back in, you're going to call, I got circle, I got triangle. The person with the stolen favor to clean things up and make it organized is the one that's going to do the play closing. The other person will grab the opposite. So in this case, if I had triangle, I would grab all triangles. My teammate grabs all circles to make it easy. They go up to the top. They're going to kill some ads up there. There's going to be attendants, and there's going to be a taken knight up there. And then they're going to send the plate down to me. I'm going to prep the plate, step on it when it's time, close the plate, kill whatever little adds are there, grab ammo, and then get into the middle for damage. And so if you do it organized like that, to recap again, you're going to kill adds, ping your plates to create your resonance, do the boss mechanic with the blights, come back, kill the adds, close the plates. That rotation, that particular order of things, it just seems so much easier for people, and there's no ads harassing you so that you don't lose timing on the plate, because if you screw up the timing on the plate, you're going to extend your plate phase longer. You're going to actually, if you screw up twice, have another gold bar enemy you have to kill, which is going to extend it even longer, which can lead to a wipe because you still have the final shape timer going. And doing this takes longer in the first place because of the fact that you're doing it out of order. So you can't really have that room for error when you're doing it this way. You just have to make sure that you execute, and you have to make sure that you're doing the plate timing back and forth and don't screw it up more than a few times so that you don't have another ad that you have to kill and run down. And people also need to not forget to kill their ads. So as a call to reckoning person, you need to stay in wait so that you kill that ad, unless you have somebody in your team who's just super comfortable killing the beefy yellow bar person by themselves, whatever they're running, whatever their build is. They're like, nah, I got it, just go ahead. But at that point still, you're kind of are wasting time because the other people will be behind, and then you're just there dancing with the boss early, and there's no reason for you to be in the pit in the first place. So I always recommend making sure as a team you kill your major ad, you go in and you kill your knight, and then from there, the person who is not the call to reckoning person is going to run down the blight for you on their side, call it out. That way you can shoot his head as soon as the blight pops in the center, get your stolen favor, and then get your play closed and go deposit into the back. So that to me is the ideal way for the LFG teams to do it, because it doesn't take a whole lot of skill to dance with the ads and keep yourself alive. Since there's no ads, you only have to deal with the ads one time on the way back, and you can do that as a team, as a duo, to make sure that you're safe, to protect each other. You don't actually have to solo a floor, a top or bottom anymore. You can actually just run through, clear all the ads, and as long as you don't mess with the plates, you have enough time to do the plate mechanics, sending it down to the person who has the stolen favor, just because they can see the shape, they've got the shapes already, and again, you don't have to do it that way, but it's just cleaner that way. And for people who are strangers, having a set repeatable routine is going to be much easier for everybody. And so now that we've gotten the how to make it easier strategy done, basically the easy strategy, now you're going to be consistently making it to damage. And so for damage, what you're going to do again is you're going to go deposit your resonance in the back. One key thing to remember with resonance, and also to prevent deaths, is that it doesn't always take your resonances in stacks of 2 or 3. Sometimes it'll take 2 off you. If you have a third one, it'll stay with you. Sometimes it'll take 1 off you if you have a second one, and it'll stay with you. And you won't notice until you're just walking around on your side after the boss damage phase and you fall over dead. You're going to be like, what killed me? Well, you had resonance that you didn't fully stack into the box. So before you go into the damage phase, make sure that you're getting all of the resonance out of the corner of your screen there. It should go away. You shouldn't have any resonance timer when it's time for boss damage. I know a lot of people get antsy for boss damage, but just make sure you clear that, because that's an unneeded death. Now for boss damage itself, my Warlock, again, I was running a Warlock Prismatic. I was running the Fell Winter Helm for the ads, and so for me, my damage rotation really focused on making sure I had Transcendence up, I had a bait and switch sword with Frenzy, and I wanted to make sure that I had a good damage super. At that point, we had Strand. It's Void and Solar this week where I'm making the video, so you can run like a Nova Bomb, for example, and get a little bit of buff. I was running Needle Storm in the video, and I would pop Transcendence, preferably, if I remembered, throw my grenade to put an area of effect down on him, and then I would go in there and I would proc bait and switch by shooting it with my primary, secondary, and then hitting him with my sword, sorting away until I ran out of bait and switch timer. Then I would pop my grenade again from Transcendence, use my super, and then go back and proc bait and switch while I still had a little bit of Transcendence left, and then hammered away with my bait and switch sword just with light attacks. Now, if you're using a Whirlwind Blade, you're going to, of course, stack it up all the way to 5, hit him, and then stack it up to 10, hit him, meaning spin to win. Spin to win removes all your energy, so you're going to light attack until you have your energy again, and then you're going to spin to win again using your heavy attack. That's going to be how you're doing it for your sword rotations. And if everybody does the rotation very similarly, and you have teams with proper debuffs, like if you're using a Hunter Bow for debuff, our case we were using a axe from the Void Titan tree, that super was suppressing the boss for us, and we were getting additional damage. And if you ran out of any kind of ammo, where they were using special, if using like an Ergo Some Sword for him, or using heavy, you can then pick up one of those axes and just hammer away with the axe, and that would help people for damage as well, conserve a little bit of heavy. We did, in this case, have one person with the Wolfpack round sword. And again, just for people who don't know, the Ergosum sword can roll with Wolfpack rounds like from Yallarhorn. And what that does is that gives other swords, legendary swords, Wolfpack rounds whenever they do their heavy attack. And so the Wolfpack rounds was up. We had all our other buffs going. We made sure we were in Transcendence to get the additional damage. And we were getting them to about half health on each phase, roughly either just past half health on a good phase or just before half health on a kind of meh phase. Either way, you're probably going to have to 3-phase him. We did 2-phase him in a subsequent run, but 3-phasing is the comfortable thing, and if you're doing the easy strategy, 3-phasing shouldn't be a problem because you shouldn't really be dying too much since there's not a lot of adds where you don't expect them. While you're trying to balance something else, you can really focus on the task at hand. And so once you've done the damage and you've got in there and you've gotten into your second phase or your third phase, when you're getting ready to finish him, you want to make sure that you have enough ammo to finish him, because what's going to happen is he's going to go immune once you push him into his final stand. It's about 5 seconds, and then you're just going to kind of shoot him a little bit to make sure he's able to be damaged. And then from there, you're going to hit him with your damage rotation again, the same damage rotation. Make sure you have your super handy if you have your super for that. And then you're going to try to push him down in those 30 seconds that it gives you. And once you do that, of course, then he'll give you the loot and you can move on to the next step. So that's pretty much the entire encounter. If you've watched this video all the way through, you'll be prepared whenever you get into that encounter in the Salvation's Edge raid. Before into the video, I just want to quickly go over again some of the things that people fail at so that you can kind of be ready for those things and to address those things between the teams. Not knowing where the blights are is a big deal. So make sure that everybody understands where their blights are going to spawn, and the person who is not the Call to Reckoning person needs to make sure that they're focused on the blights. A lot of times having deaths in bad situations, getting knocked off the map, dying because you got trapped with certain ads or you weren't ready for an ad to spawn, dying to the ogre or the taken wizard, those things can be avoided if you're ready with your teammate for those things to happen, because you can time them this way. You can force them to spawn when you want them to spawn, because on that third pass, you're going to let the energy dissipate from the plate, and you can prepare for where they spawn, and they spawn in a relatively trackable place on all sides. So it's not like they're randomly spawning all around the arena. You want to make sure that you keep your head up and you're kind of getting a pattern on your side with your teammate, and you want to make sure you don't leave your teammate high and dry. You want to make sure that everybody is focused on clearing the ads on the sides, so that way you can just worry about the plate mechanics without being harassed and don't have any unnecessary deaths. Now, there is places that we found in the arena. I don't know exactly where they are, but there's places where you walk over sometimes and you take an unfortunate death to the architects, and there's nothing you can do about that. Dealing with the flanks, for example, it was able to push me sometimes at like high speeds, and then I would hit a wall or fly off the map. So you want to make sure positionally you have your back to a place where you can't get knocked off the map, or you at least have a way to slow yourself down when it comes time to getting hit, or heal yourself as soon as you hit the wall and you're down to 1 HP, so that doesn't happen. Wizards really won't be able to do that to you, but the ogre can give you a push. If you're mid-air on the ogre, you want to make sure on the ogre you got your feet on the ground so that the ogre doesn't just like push you with his eye beams or slam you and put you in a bad situation. The attendants are stasis attendants, and so they can actually freeze you, so you want to make sure that you're not trying to jump a gap near any of their dusk field areas, so that way you don't lose your ability to jump and just fall right off the map. And that's pretty much it. Really, it's just a matter of managing your health, making sure you stay alive for your teammates, making sure that you communicate when you're sending the very first pulse down, because for whatever reason it feels like that first pulse that you send gets to the plate much quicker than the second and third pulses. So you want to make sure that you're already in place to catch that pulse before they send it down. So just say, hey, send it down and run over there, but make sure you're going to get there before the pulse gets there, because if not, if you fizzle twice again, you're going to delay everybody because you're going to be way behind since you have a second yellow bar enemy to kill. So with that, good luck, guys, on the second encounter. I hope you have a pretty good Salvation's Edge raid experience, because it's a great raid. I hope more people will get into it. I know a lot of people have been intimidated from getting into this raid because of a lot of the talk online and how brutal the contest mode was, and it was brutal for somebody who's done different day ones. I almost had Val, but I had a family emergency. I was in Crota all the way to Ute, and I completed day one Root of Nightmare. And of course, when Planets was rough, as obviously people saw in the Pantheon, even though day one Root of Nightmare was the easiest one to clear, it's still, something that you can say, okay, I've experienced these day ones. This one is by far on a whole nother level. Everybody's comparing it to Last Wish because of how brutal Last Wish was due to the light disparity at the time. Everybody was so low because of the timing of the raid encounter opening that they didn't have enough light to really deal with a lot of the things that were going on. And at that time, contest mode wasn't a thing, but it might as well have been, because of the light difference. So this raid is rough, and this raid is tough on people who are not used to being flexible, who are used to just being ad clear, who are used to being carried. In this case, if they have friends that just carry them, it's doable, but that person still needs to stay alive. As long as that person can stay alive and do the plates, you can definitely carry somebody in some of these encounters, but not all of them. You know, the fourth one, of course, is going to be something that's a little tough on some people, and just kind of conceptually. But this encounter is doable. You can definitely carry one person on each team in this encounter. So get in there, knock out the second encounter, get your loot. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and post them below. Thank you to all my subscribers and all my new subscribers, and I'll see you guys in the next guide video.
Rear.
Good guess. Good, send it.
Sending.
Set.
Back.
One.
Set.
Ping.
Two.
Back.
Send it back.
Set.
Alright, last one.
I sent. I have a call. We have to kill Ogre.
Done.
Send it back.
You should let it fizzle because I think the Ogre will spawn faster if you do.
Right, ping.
Alright, just go ahead, Jeremy.
Good. We are good. Just gonna kill this knight real quick.
Get ready for blights to pop.
There it is.
Shoot his head. Nope. Still a blight. Alright, now shoot his head.
It's the left side.
Oh,
and the
please
right.
help!
You're good, you're
Oh
good.
my god.
I'll do it
Oh,
as
I
much
was
as I
like-
can.
That was I wanted to for a while.
You got a
You have
orb.
circles, right?
Shape, Jeremy, shape. Circle.
I
Okay.
see triangle.
Oh, you see
Said it was
triangle?
what?
Okay. So,
Yeah.
Circle, circle.
Okay.
Send it.
Alright, I'm gonna send to you when you're ready.
Sending it.
Wait, no, I'm sending. Or did you send it to yourself?
I was
Oh,
trying
send it one more
to.
time. Send it again. Send it again.
'Cause
Okay.
I got confused.
Let me know when you send
Okay.
it.
And send it
Sending
again.
it now.
send it.
Yeah, I sent it. You're good.
Sent.
What am I doing wrong?
You shoot it first, then step on it.
I do.
Let's try it one more time. I'm getting trolled right now. Give me a sec. Alright, so shoot it now. Then when the pillar gets, the thing gets done, step on it.
Yeah, I do.
No, you got it. You got it. You did it.
So weird.
It was just being buggy. Feel the fucking resonance right on the thing.
Still immune. Damn, I don't even know if I hit him with any. Hit him again. There we go.
Oh man, the damage is great.
Yeah.
Got a heal nade in case you get in trouble. Your side.
Yep.
Where's our
Shit.
On it.
line?
We're gonna send it, Jeremy.
Okay. Send.
One.
Beautiful.
Oh my god, I'm getting bounced.
Send.
Alright, ping.
You sending it down to you?
Sent it.
Put back.
Ping.
Send.
Ping.
Alright, third one. Come down.
Sent it.
Matt.
One more,
Okay.
and then you can
Yep.
jump off.
No, Ben.
Right, ping.
Pinging. Now
Getting
don't
our-
ping
getting
any
our
of
heavy.
them. And then over. And then after over blight.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
I gave you resto.
Oh no, really good.
Don't forget to kill your knight on the way in too.
Start at head, look for blights.
I got it.
One on mid, one on right side.
3, 2. See if they popped.
Okay.
Really good.
Oh, my die, my die.
I got you.
Oh. Thank you.
All right, you got it.
Head
Get out.
pop.
What's our shape?
Iron circle.
All right, I'm grabbing
Oh.
triangles.
We don't
Yeah.
have a
I'm
shape?
circle. I'm circle.
Okay.
Did
okay,
you not get the
triangle.
valor? Okay.
Okay.
Remember, I'm going up top to
It
send
just
it.
wasn't the,
Yeah.
the totem wasn't
I'm
open.
sending it to you, Jeremy. Remember?
Yeah, no, I saw that.
Send it now.
Sending it to you.
Okay, sending it.
Okay, good.
Hey,
Deposit him.
you're good.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Let's go help them.
Let me
Yeah.
know when you're ready.
I'll go left.
Yeah,
I'll
ping
go
it, ping it, ping it.
I'll go
ping it.
right.
Alright, I pinged it. Lock it, and then immediately run to the box.
Okay, front box.
Good timing.
Pretty sure he's not immune. Oh, is he already?
He's damageable.
Picking up another axe.
Oh my god, we might last final standing right here. You ready?
No, don't push him.
Alright. I was gonna say we might accidentally do it. Yeah, we needed hit. We needed ammo. I was low on
Everyone
ammo.
I didn't
play
throw
for
the third
survivability.
axe.
Play for survivability.
Yeah, good. Lock it in, guys. It's the win. My side, Jeremy.
My side, my side.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, go ahead, send it, Jeremy. Plenty of ammo.
I got it. You're good to go.
Yeah. I gotta go.
Go ahead and go.
Okay,
You
one.
can send it. Whatever.
Okay.
Ping.
Send.
Sent.
Send back.
2.
Ping.
Sending. We have to be fast.
Sent back.
Send back.
Okay, get ready to kill your heavies.
Go.
Get ready to kill your big guys. Everybody.
Go.
Let it dissipate.
You gotta be quick on these blights too. Go ahead, Jeremy. I got this.
Go. I got it.
Okay, lights are out.
Nothing
Left
mid.
side.
Got it.
Lights down, lights down.
Shoot his
Okay,
head. Shoot his head. Good shit. Good shit.
Down.
Going up. I am triangle, John. I am triangle.
Okay, I'm gonna go left and get circles.
Circle. Okay, I'm going the other way. Ow, this is really unfortunate. Go.
Yeah,
Go.
send it as soon as we can.
I'm sending it to you, Jeremy. They're ready.
Yes. Okay.
I'm gonna send it as soon as I get up there because you got plenty of time.
Yeah, I'm ready, I'm ready.
Okay, I'm on it.
I'm gonna go book it to the plate.
It's set.
Aim.
Locked.
Head into the box. Head into the box. Get your resonance in. Nice. Let's kill this motherfucker.
Alright, what do we do?
Wait for it. Wait for it. Now hit him.
Let's call it. Axing. Ruin him.
Don't forget to use your supers. Oh, he's fucked. 20 seconds and we still got him. Good job, guys. Good job. Nice progression.
That was tougher than I expected. Timing on that stuff is really
It's
tight.
tight. Yeah.
The bow? Are you?
Ooh, that helmet looks sick.
Hey, there's a volt shot on that bow. It's like a legendary.
I
What you
did
call
get
it?
bolt shot.
Yeah, there you go. I wouldn't complain.
Oh my
Strategist.
god, that helmet.
Oh, that's nasty.
Strategist.
Oh my god.
That's nasty.
Chaos
Class ability
machine.
all day long with that bow.
Strategy.
I'll
yeah,
trade you
strategist
my-
bolt shot.
Dude, this
My
Kratos
sword,
weapon is
my
fucking
waveframe
Dennis, look at
sword.
his helmet. Look at his helmet.